Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to another episode of F1 Manager 2023-2024 edition with Mercedes. We're out here in España. Yeah, we'll be taking on the race in a couple of seconds. We've got two comments to cover. FPG says Hamilton back with a bang, but Russell sucked. Happy to see Hamilton finally finish on the podium. It took him like 10 races or whatever, has been round 9, so 8 races. Yeah, I was definitely happy. Russell, he's been performing the whole year consistently, so I can't really complain about him. Nonetheless, yeah, he could have been a bit higher, but it is what it is. The Kakashka asks, is Niki Lauda new Rizgod? I'll let y'all decide on that one. I just got a message from Werner Ludwig, my personal officer. He says, hello Toto. I've noticed some tension between Lewis Hamilton and their race engineer Peter Bonington. Not sure exactly why they're not getting along, but I know that this can have an impact on the driver's morale and on-track performance, so I thought you should know. So, Peter, or Bono as most of the people know him, and Lewis aren't getting along. That is an interesting turn of events. They've been so long together, and now they are in their last year not getting along. Is it due to Lewis leaving Mercedes at the end of the year? Nonetheless, we will intervene. I'd like to hold them together. They're an iconic pairing. Hopefully they get over it. If not, we will switch them around. Now I'll hop into practice and qualifying. You guys won't see those two. I will make sure to do them off camera to not waste your precious time. Nonetheless, let's hop into the race weekend.
This is the Spanish Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
Lights out and away we go. We qualified 5th and 8th. Hamilton jumps him up into 4th. I will quickly discuss the strategies we have chosen to select for both of our drivers. So, since the last race, I've decided every race will start with the softs. Now, obviously, we can change that later down the line, but from the looks of it, that is the way to go. I do make sure to save multiple softs for the race itself in qualifying. The strategies, we're going to go soft, medium, soft. They're completely supposed to pit at the same time. We can change that during the race. They are currently pretty far. There is a big distance between them, so I think if it stays like this, we won't have a problem. Hopefully it doesn't stay like this, and George does make up some spots and close the gap to the front of the grid. This time, all of our competitors are in the top 10. So we'll have to make sure we are careful this race. I will drop down to aggressive now with yellow flag.
Let's just manage these tires.
What has happened? Sargent locked up on turn 1. Yeah, we'll drop down to aggressive. Already start trying to save the tires on George. Lewis, I just want him to push, 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 and be as close to the Ferraris as he can. That is the key for us if we want to succeed here in Barcelona. Let's check out the other team strategies. Yeah, everybody's starting on softs except Leclerc, Sainz, Perez, and Piastri. So we do have a slight advantage on the Ferraris. We hopefully will be able to keep up with them. We'll go down to neutral now, and DRS is enabled. Lewis already has lost the DRS interval to the Ferraris. We will drop down now. We will have to start conserving the tire. I'm interested in what kind of strategy the Ferraris are running, both starting on mediums. Would it be too soft at the end of the race? That's interesting to see. We'll see what happens, but they're definitely trying to finally fight the Red Bulls. Oh my god.
So we're heading now into turn 5. Dangerously close to each other. And you can see how the cars come together. That will have knocked their confidence, I'm sure.
Oh, we again start off the race on good note in a sarcastic way. Sargent is still behind
Head down.
Lewis somehow. Is he... He's right there. Okay, well... Have fun racing with him, Lewis. So what happened with Checo? Does he have no damage completely? They're barely touched. Lewis drove off the circuit. Looks like Checo is completely fine. Yep. That's good to see. No, but they've got a penalty. Checo has a penalty. Now that won't help us by any means because Lewis is now down in 19th. He'll have to battle his way up into at least the points. I want him to finish in the points. Lewis has been... He had 2 races which he didn't finish in the points. In Monaco, he DNF'd, crashed out, and had to retire the car. In Canada, he finished on the podium. That was the next race, but I believe... Where was it? I believe he... I forgot which race was it, but yeah, in one of those races he also locked up, flew into the gravel, and finished like 11th. So, we're not in a great position at this time. We'll have to keep on battling. We have to catch up to Norris in front. Can we push our tires? We could to make up the spots we've lost. I could hope for the longevity of the tire. Norris has DRS on Checo. We'll be a bit more aggressive. We're in clean air. Hopefully that will help. I'll leave Lewis on neutral. He should be... Actually, he'll have to push, I think, a little bit to catch up. So we'll put them both on aggressive for a couple of laps. Hopefully they can close the gap to the cars in front. For George, that will be tough. Worst case scenario, I just want him to stay in 7th and not let Lance catch up. We started off on a bad note. So we'll see how it goes. Yellow flag. Virtual safety car.
Right, we're taking the second corner. You can see how tight it is. Oh, and the car's there, unable to keep out of each other's way.
So, Piastri pitted Alonso, or was it Stroll?
Keep the delta positive.
I don't care, but there's virtual safety car. Do we pit now?
Got a car stop on the track.
We could get on the hards with... It was Stroll. Yeah, Stroll's out the race.
Driver okay?
Lewis technically could pit onto the hards and race until the end, but he would waste his time. Now we will harvest our batteries. That's what we'll do.
Charge the pack.
I think we'll stay put. This will give us a hopeful chance to conserve the tires, but at the same time also they'll conserve their tires. Stroll has a 5-second penalty, but he is out. By the looks of it, it seemed like Piastri pitted him. But maybe Stroll cut out in front of him. I don't know. I don't care. But Piastri is relatively out of the race. He'll have to pit. Stroll is out of the race completely. Perez has a penalty. So Russell hopefully might be able to overtake him. I do not know. We have elected to not pit. We'll see how it goes. We'll skip ahead now. This could be an interesting race, but we're not in the best of positions right now.
This was at turn 1. Oh, and the car locks up, and they ended up their own passenger.
So George now has passed Alonso. He will have to pit now. We are up into 6th. We have a big gap to Norris. I have been letting him go on mode push for both drivers to hopefully close their gaps. George hasn't been able to do so because he had, or Norris had DRS. Now he doesn't have DRS. Hopefully he'll be able to close the gap, although his tires are in a little bit of a better condition. This is not looking too hopeful. Lewis is slowly starting to close the gap to the rest of the grid. And Lewis is behind Valtteri Bottas. I'll let him deploy now. Well, maybe this isn't the position in which he should deploy. But they will hold us up if we stay behind them for too long. So just do your thing, Lewis. We are closing in on our pit window. Norris is basically 5 seconds in front of George. Come on. Looks like our car isn't powerful enough to pass these cars. Lewis going for the overtake. Through the inside. Battling his ex-teammate. Not yet. Not in this straight. Let's see. Through the outside maybe. By the looks of it, still no. We're closing it on the DRS straight. Looks like Lewis will go for it now. No. I could tell him to be a bit more aggressive, although there are multiple cars here, so if he locks up, he'll be in big trouble here.
Got every chance here.
You know, it's go time. I'll tell him to be aggressive. Yellow flag now.
It's not going to be long now, mate.
Where's the yellow flag from?
Let's go for it.
Perez locked up.
So we're low on battery at the moment.
Another yellow flag. Whoa, what happened there? What just happened? Was it Albon? Albon ran wide. We've entered our pit window. We will hold out on standard for a little bit. By the looks of it, we'll be able to pit on the same lap because the cars are so... there's a big distance between the cars. We really need 3-second gap between the two of them. I have decided that we'll pit this lap with George. We could undercut Lando. We'll push now, push now. I'll make sure that he even deploys to make up some time.
Okay, let's see what
For Lewis, he could do the same.
push and hold, overtake. Yeah.
But he has DRS now, so not yet. I'll hold out with him for a bit. We'll get on. We'll be aggressive. I'll make sure he pits next lap. Next lap, mediums, boom. On attack, mode, push. And on neutral, let's check out George.
Box. In the box is that. And let's push.
Can we get out in front of Checo? We do. So we overtook Checo. Albon also, actually, I just checked it, or just saw that Albon overtook Checo, so Checo is being held back a bit. Norris just pitted. Will George be able to overtake
Push now.
Norris while he's in the pits? We'll go on mode push.
Yeah, we just want to grow.
We'll deploy. We need to overtake him now. Lewis is in the pits. Let's see. Let's hope for a George overtaking multiple cars in the pits. We could try to do that. Let's see. Quick pit, quick pit. 2.6. Good. Oh no. George just got out behind Lando. Let's try to close the gap. Is Lando's on mediums. Perez. Oh, where's Perez? On hards. Perez is on hards. Tsunoda hards. Ricardo hards. Joe hards. Yellow flag. What has happened? Sargent is dropping again by the looks of it. Sargent again locked up on turn 1. Now I understand why Albon was giving the choice over Logan Sargent to drive in Australia. We are struggling to keep up with Lando, though. Come on, come on, come on, go for it. There is an... is it a back marker up ahead? No, that's Gasly. Gasly has completely destroyed his tires, but Lando will have DRS now. I believe. Nope. He doesn't. We do. George going through the outside. He has the inside now. He will successfully overtake Lando. We'll go down to balanced.
Just reduce your speed.
Let's Let's check in on Lewis. Lewis still trying to catch up to Valtteri Bottas. Lando just overtook George, but George still has the inside. He overtakes Lando again.
Nice one.
A nice one, George. Although Lando now has DRS Checo on the left with DRS. He's in a bad position now. Lando will overtake him. Will Checo overtake him? Checo won't. Lando does. Alright, well, let's not stress too much. George is now in a decent position. The Ferraris might be going for a one-stop, possibly. Yellow flag.
What?
Both of the Saubers crashed. There won't be no safety car. Or virtual safety car. Yeah, even if there would have been one, it wouldn't given us any kind of advantage. Now Checo is behind. Do I want him defending Checo? I don't know. Because he's completely now lost the gap to Lando while defending his position against Checo. Checo now has the DRS and a more powerful car. He will go for the overtake, although he has the hards. He won't get the overtake done in this corner. Hamilton overtakes Valtteri. Zhou has a penalty up in front ahead of him. Checo is going for the overtake on George. George still holds his position. Yeah, but there goes that Red Bull engine kicking in. Nobody now behind Checo. Don't worry about it. George, long race ahead. It's not looking too hopeful for George. Lewis now battling Zhou. Zhou has a penalty, so legitimately he has the 12th. He just has to get by him. I have put him on high. Overtake aggression. He has to make up those positions. Now we'll let him be a bit more aggressive now. He's in clean air. Lewis in 12th position, trying to close the gap to Oscar Piastri. He's doing a good job, actually. And let's check the last lap. Yeah, he's closing the gap by 2 seconds. Although Piastri is on worn hards after the crash, he put on the hards, so Lewis has a legitimate chance to close the gap to him. Yellow flag now. Leclerc's in the pits. What happened? Sainz ran wide. We won't check out that replay though. Lewis is now next to Oscar Piastri. We will make sure to push to get ahead of in front of him, so we don't waste our tire too much while battling with him. I'll also deploy out of this corner. We are nearing the DRS detection point though. We should have DRS now and just deploy. Get out in front of him, Lewis. Oscar closes the outside. Yeah, we have no battery anymore. So go on, top up. Make sure to top up with George as well for a little bit, although he's in a decent position, but... Go attack. Attack. Get out in front of him. We have the DRS. We are on mode push. We will get out in front of him. We'll go down to balanced now.
Just up the lift and coast a little more.
Out of these 2 corners, we'll still leave it on attack. Now we'll go down to aggressive once again. Lewis has closed the gap to Ocon and made sure that he made it into the DRS range and then dropped him down to standard to conserve the tire. But need to get out in front of Ocon again as well. We'll top up Actually, we'll go down to harvest if we can. There will be DRS in this straight for us. We can hopefully drop up a little or harvest the battery a bit while closing the gap to Ocon. George has completely lost Lando now. He's not looking too hopeful to get on the podium. We will go down to neutral or go up to neutral now.
So no need to charge the pack.
Will Lewis be able to overtake Ocon now? Through the outside. Easy enough for Lewis. Good job. Now it's Tsunoda and Ricciardo ahead. Lewis. Oh. Actually, can we wait for the DRS? I don't think we can. No worries. We'll wait until the DRS is straight to pass Albon once again. Or Ocon, I mean. Go for it, Lewis. Don't mess around with Ocon, just pass him. Come on. Alright, looks like he'll try to pass him in this next DRS straight. Fair enough. We have a little bit of ERS left, so it should be easy enough for him. How's the tire? Not in the greatest of positions right now. We will deploy out of this corner as well to make sure we increase the gap. Okay, should be good enough. Go down to balance, go down to standard. Hopefully Ocon doesn't give us any more troubles. How's his tire? He's on. Also mediums, basically they're the same as ours. Lewis will be going for the overtake on Yuki now. We will deploy out of the next corner to get up in front of him. Alonso's in the pits. We have to actually check out what kind of tires Alonso will put on his car. Yeah, ERS batteries drained once again. We'll have DRS in this straight though. I'll go down to mode harvest. I'll go and push with the fuel.
Discharge that pack.
Should be able to pass Yuki quite easily. Yep, there goes Lewis. Awesome job. With all the struggles he's been having, Lewis is still performing from basically last to now in 8th. Although we'll still have to pit, so... But then again, all of the cars will have to pit, so we are legitimately in 8th. We have entered our pit windows relatively close, at least to them. Lando's now giving troubles to Lewis, and he does overtake him. I had to go on mode conserve for Lewis. His tires are in a bad position, same with Lewis, or George, I mean. He will pit this lap. We'll try to conserve our soft tires a little bit. We'll attack now. Same with Lewis, I think. I think it's the safest option we have. Go on mode attack.
Okay, Lewis. Box.
Let's try to use Lando as much as we can and to get the DRS off of him. Lando is on new hards.
You can do this.
Sainz is on new hards. So we might have a tire advantage, but we will have to conserve a lot with them if we want to finish the race. Should have we maybe stuck out for one more lap? I think we'll be in a better position conserving with the softs and driving a bit more passively than trying to stay out with the mediums. Although we will be at the end or in the midfield because there's not many pits left. Albon will have to pit. Sargent is basically out. Magnus and Gasly will be out. So in what position will they be? 13th. Okay, I'll make sure that he does pit. And George is now in the pits. Should we tell Lewis to stay out for one more lap? Just to see what we can do. Okay.
Box.
You know what? Let's do next lap. Let's do next lap, Lewis. Stay out. 2.5, I'm happy with that.
So we'll box.
Oh, last lap. Alonso is barely closing the gap to Lewis. Although he is just right here. Hello, Alonso. Never mind. So, I don't know if it was a smart decision to hold out with Lewis. We maybe should have just pitted. We will have a big gap to Alonso now with this move. I don't think that was the right decision. Let's hope for a quick pit. 2.5. Excellent, team. Excellent. Race until the end. Race until the end. Long enough. He is battling Ocon once again. Although Ocon is on hards. So again, just deploy and get out in front of him.
Understood.
You have the DRS. He is in an aggressive... Oh! There goes Tsunoda. That makes Lewis's job a bit easier. Gasly will have to pit. Gasly just pitted. Make sure to pass Ocon now. We'll have the DRS go back down to neutral. There goes Lewis. Okay. Both of the drivers have closed their gaps to the drivers ahead. Lewis is in striking distance now with from Daniel. George is closing in on Alonso. Lewis will be now going for the overtake. I'm a bit concerned about the fuel levels. I will have to conserve at some point. Should I conserve now? We'll try to conserve a bit while we have the DRS.
Yep.
It should be a relatively easy overtake. Yeah. There goes Lewis. From the looks of it, this might be all that we can pull out. Or this will be the highest position we can get with Lewis. Okay, we'll wait out until George does pass Alonso for him to conserve. We'll do the same with him as with Lewis. We'll conserve in the last 5 laps. But he still has to make sure that he gets in front of Alonso. Looks like Alonso might be trying to get the DRS. We just passed the detection point. Will Russell get the DRS? No, he won't. It will be Alonso with the DRS. That will give him a boost. Not enough though. We'll go down to standard and balanced with him. We have the softs. Just do your thingamajig. George and Lewis try to close the gap. We have a couple of laps left. I'll just leave them on standard for now. And we will hope for the best. There is a yellow flag. Signs locked up. There are 4 laps to go. Lewis is in a good position with his fuel. He will not be able to close the gap to Alonso while conserving. So just just race until the end. Clean, good old laps. I could even tell him to avoid high-risk curbs to minimize the damage on the car. I am still hopeful though for something. Alonso is closing the gap to George. I will deploy to make sure that he doesn't though.
Push and hold it, overtake.
I don't want him getting the DRS. That could give us some difficulties. Percentage-wise, he has a better tire, but we do have the softs. We will try to push away from him, though. Yeah, the battery is now empty, but let's hope that he doesn't get the DRS. Did he get the DRS? By the looks of it, no. Go back down to neutral. Race until the end. Russell, try to keep your position. With 3 laps to go. Do I want him being a bit more aggressive now? As Alonso is closing in. Yeah, I'll do that. Sure.
So happy to push now. Alright, copy that.
He does have the DRS now. Uh-oh. We will... One more attack and top up.
Copy.
Might have to push with our fuel. I've even lapped. No. Lewis has been lapped, so he can actually push a bit, but I'm not too worried about him. I'll now put him on avoid high-risk curbs.
And avoid all curbs. Avoid all curbs.
Go down to neutral. George is still doing a good job at minimizing the gap to Alonso, making sure that he does stay behind. We're looking real good right now. We'll go down to standard. Hopefully he doesn't have DRS in this straight.
Yeah, copy.
By the looks of it, he won't. So George did do his job.
2 laps remaining.
2 laps remaining, though. It's the final lap for Lewis. I could put him on mode push, but just to be careful, I will not. We'll also conserve our powertrain while doing so. We'll have to go on aggressive now, and I think we'll have to use the battery a bit
Copy.
to defend. We'll go on mode deploy. And we'll try to save as much fuel as we can for one last push if we need to. Hopefully we won't. Let's check out the last lap. We were 1 second faster than Alonso. And go down to neutral. Yep, the battery is drained. We'll go on attack now. This will be a tough last lap for George. Alonso on hards.
Copy.
Go on mode push, deploy. And always defend.
Laps remaining.
One more.
1 more lap.
Don't let him get in front.
Take the flag. P8.
Go down to balance now.
Well, I gave it everything, man. Thank you so much for continuing to push this year. I'm so inspired by you guys.
Yeah. George is struggling. Hold out. Come on. Come on, George. He'll have the DRS. No, yep, he will. I'll deploy. Let's make sure he doesn't pass us. No, he does. We will try to push as much as we can. Oh no. There goes Alonso. I just finished the race. He is up ahead. He won't be able to catch him. All that stuff. Yeah. So we are once again in the post-race report. As always, Max first, Leclerc second. Lando is fifth, so they might have upgraded their car and their performances. Unfortunately, Alonso passed George in the last corner, basically. That was tough to see. Lewis, he had a big mistake in battle from basically the last position, if we ignore Sargent, up into 8th. So relatively, I'm happy with that. Obviously, if he wouldn't have screwed up, we might have been in Lando's position, if not higher, but it is what it is. Ricardo gets 2 points for the Racing Bulls, and Alpine get their first point of this season. Now they are the 9th team in the Constructors' Championship, ahead of the Williams, Yuki 11th, Magnussen 12th, Alpine, Gasly with his Alpine in 13th. So it looks like they have improved. Oscar Piastri for maybe the second race in a row, not managing to get any kind of points, so that is tough to see from them. No, Sargent had a terrible race, and Stroll, again, no points for Aston Martin, so we'll check out the Constructors first. Red Bull still comfortably ahead. We still hold a lead in front of Aston Martin. We even increased their gap. McLaren is closing the gap to Aston Martin, though. AlphaTauri with extra 2 points. Alpine, as I said, in 9th. They are going to try to overtake Stake F1 team, or Sauber. I keep messing up because I still haven't fixed these names, and I don't think I will. Drivers' Championship. Max basically has won the championship this season. The battle for second. Leclerc increases his gap to Sainz. George still in 5th, and Lewis in 6th, although Alonso is now closing in. Norris closing in on Alonso, so we'll have to look out for that. Stroll in front of Piastri still after they both didn't get any kind of points this race. Ricardo overtakes Hulkenberg, and Ocon now 16th with his 1 point this season. Looks like the Alpines have improved, so we'll have to look out for that storyline. Oh yeah, and the DHL pit stops, we have improved. Now 5th and 6th this race. I am so happy about that. Usually I struggle with these, but now that our training schedule has kicked in, I think there is a slight disadvantage for the player at the start of the season because it doesn't register that we've been training all off season. Nonetheless, we are 5th and 6th. Have we moved up here? Nope, but we are closing in on Williams now. So we have a situation on our hands. Jared Murphy's contract is ending at the end of the season. His morale is low, so I cannot renew his contract. I'd like him to stay. If we check out, he is the head of aerodynamics. So if we check out the rest of the staff members we could attempt to sign, they are not many better than him. We could try to take Red Bull's head of aerodynamics. I'd like to keep him here, but we could try to talk with them. By the looks of it, everybody's open to negotiate, so why not? But also, he's one of the oldest, so maybe it is better for us to steal Ferraris or Red Bull's head of aerodynamics. But we'll see how that goes. We'll follow that situation. So we do have a couple of brand new parts come in. We have the version 3 of our underfloor and I believe suspension in, as well as the side pods. Right? Yep. So this is a question up to you guys. There might be an episode on Sunday or Monday. So in this comment section, make sure to comment. Should we give George Russell or Lewis Hamilton the brand new parts, or should we just stick with the version 2 of these parts and wait until we have multiple parts ready? So for example, if we need to replace one of these parts, we don't have to go to an older part. So let me know, should we switch those or not? We do have that opportunity. Let's see, let's put them on. Let's do Mercedes, change car 2. So top speed is better, acceleration is barely better. Low speed, medium speed, high speed, everything's basically upgraded. I think we should, for the next race, we are going to be in Australia. Yeah, look at our brake cooling, it's much better. Maybe you should give it to Lewis because Lewis has been he has been struggling with staying on the track. And if we compare our car 1 to, for example, Ferrari's car 1, do they have a different? No, they don't. They are still better. I'm guessing with the Red Bulls it's the same thing. Yeah. Aston Martin. Let's see, is there a... Okay, yeah, our secondary car is much worse than Lance Stroll's car. But if we put on these upgrades, we now are a bit better in performance in some of these areas. It also explains why Alonso was able to overtake us. The acceleration, top speed, DRS effectiveness, low speed, dirty air tolerance, much better than our second car. If we check it out, yeah, everything's on their side. So it makes sense why they overtook us. Although, by the looks of it, they are sacrificing their parts longevity for performance. We should consider that, especially for the end of the season. And we'll see how the cost cap goes, because if we need to create more and more and more parts, we might have to cut into the cost cap. In doing so, we'll have extra fines and whatnot. That's another thing I want you guys to let me know. So the car parts, which one should we use? Should we use the variant 3 for Lewis or George? Or should we stay with variant 2 for both drivers? And for the future of our team, should we create variants of our parts that decrease the longevity of them, but increase the performance? So, make sure that you comment down below. Should we use these newer parts for George or Lewis? So I want you to let me know. Car part 3, do we use them? There's only one variant of them for right now. And if so, on which driver? Lewis, who has been struggling lately, having troubles with staying on the track. There's 3, in the last 4 races, he has had, he's basically fallen out of the top 10 due to either crashing or having his brakes lock up or running wide. That's one thing. And the secondary thing, should we develop new car parts that don't last as long, but will improve our performance? And in doing so, we will have to spend more money, and possibly more money isn't the problem. I'm more worried about the cost cap. We have 66 million left. There is how many races left? We are in round 10. There are 23 rounds, so for 30 more races, we'll basically have to spend twice the amount of money that we usually would. But we might be able to battle for the podiums, if not stay in front of the Aston Martins and McLarens much easier. So let me know. But that will be it for today. Thank you guys for watching this video and spending your time with me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on Sunday or Monday. But yeah, thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.